Alright guys, in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact retargeting ad strategy that I'm using to scale other people's coaching or info offers as well as my own. It's a very simple 3-step process and it can get a lot more complex and granular for people who are a little bit bigger, but this alone is the foundation that we use for anybody at any size, regardless of how many followers or impressions that they have. The only prerequisites are that you're actively posting organic content and have your Instagram profile already set up and optimized. And before I get into the mirror board, I want to preface that the whole point of retargeting ads is primarily to just consistently show up in your prospects' feeds so that it's inevitable that they either choose to like you and follow you or they end up blocking you. Okay, so getting into it, the very first thing that you need is you need to have enough top of funnel reach, whether it's coming from organic or from paid content. It doesn't really matter how, but if you haven't already gotten at least 35 to 50,000 impressions a month, the first thing that we would do is create a lookalike audience based off our highest value source. So this would be something like a pixel with a link in the bio of the Instagram page, or somebody who has already DM'd the account and is in active conversations with them. The only caveat is you need about 1,000 actual accounts that are interacting with this data source before it becomes valuable to create lookalike audiences. So if you're not there yet, focus on getting more organic content out, more reach, and more top of funnel ads. But like I said, this video is primarily about retargeting ads, but I just wanted to preface this by saying that lookalike audiences work extremely well. So the whole idea with creating these ads or this content in general is to get people to follow. So your CTA should always be to get somebody to follow. When you're running top of funnel ads to a lookalike audience, you should basically treat it as warm top of funnel, because at the end of the day, if your value source is actually representative of the people that you want to market to, this could be an extremely good way for you to put the right kind of content in front of the right kind of people. But the main thing that's really important is you have to have your value source to be picking up data from the right kind of avatars that you want to be showing your ads to. And remember, whenever you're making any type of content, case studies is your best friend. It works at any stage in your funnel. So if you're not leveraging case studies, you have to be doing that, because it is the best way for you to get somebody from seeing you, from never having seen you before, to watching that video, to wanting to follow you and wanting to work with you. And if they already are following you, having another case study of somebody similar to that person that you want to help is another way that you can definitely guarantee that they're going to want to work with you. So make sure that you're leveraging case studies at any stage of your funnel. So here's a good example of an ad that you could run to a lookalike audience, where you can clearly see that at the very top of the caption, I have a CTA that gets people intrigued to follow me for more kind of sauce regarding implementing YouTube videos to scale. This is specific to the video that I'm talking about, but the CTA at the top of your caption should always be to get somebody to follow. If not, it should be somewhere in your video as well, which I have in this video at the very end, but also in the captions as well. So moving on to the actual retargeting strategy, you can see that we have profile visitors and engagers as well as followers. And you're gonna notice that they're color-coded differently, because this is different levels of warmth somebody is to you and your offer. So people that are in yellow are kind of warm because they've already seen you or engaged with your content by definition, because they are profile visitors or engagers. You can set this up in your custom audiences on Meta Ads Manager. I've already made a video on how to set this up in the past, so if you want to check that out after this video, then feel free to do so. You can see here, profile visitors, engagers, and the goal with this is they've already seen an ad of yours, they've already visited your account and engaged with your content, but for some reason they haven't dropped you a follow. And the whole objective is for you to continuously show up in their feed so that they will inevitably follow you. So the action goal, like I said, is to just get somebody to follow you. The content approach that you should take is just have it be kind of light. Don't make it too serious. Don't push too hard for anything. No sales, none of that kind of stuff. Just have a little bit of a broader hook to get more people in, and if you have your Instagram profile set up correctly, you're going to filter the right kind of people that you want following you. And like I said, there's no selling at this stage. The objective is purely to get somebody into your ecosystem and to consistently see your content every single day. This isn't meant to be on the profile and visitors or engagers section. This is actually meant to be for the lookalike audience. The kind of messaging that you want to be showing to your profile visitors or engagers is just to give them a little bit more sauce than your top of funnel stuff, and make it a little bit more catered towards them so that they are actually enticed to follow you after seeing the videos. And make sure that in both your videos and your captions, you have a CTA to get somebody to follow you. And so the last thing that you'll see is we're running ads specifically to our followers. So we're going to treat the messaging different than what we would do for somebody who's either cold, who's never heard of you, or somebody who's visited your page but hasn't followed you. When you set up your Meta campaigns and stuff like that, you can definitely exclude people who've just engaged, but only target your exact followers. These people have already expressed a level of interest to you by following your page and consistently seeing your stuff organically. So for this audience specifically, you want to increase the content intensity and make it a little bit more salesy. You can get away with making it a little bit salesier because these people are already interested in what you have to say. You want to focus heavily on case studies and breakdowns, such as this video over here where I explain how we built our client a $1.4 million sales pipeline in just 8 months. The CTA at the end of this video is to get somebody to DM me so that they can get access to the lead magnet, which is basically a full breakdown of this video where they will end up watching a longer form version of what I explained in more detail to further nurture them. But more importantly, it's to start the conversation, because if they comment the keyword or they DM me the keyword, my automation will fire and send them the link. It'll actually start the conversation in the DMs there, where I will just follow up with them to see what they thought about the video and start to interact with them privately in the DMs so I can further qualify and nurture them and see if they're a good fit for our offer. And the purpose of this, if it wasn't clear already, is to bring the right people to you, into your ecosystem, having them take the first step and start to interact with your stuff, rather than you doing any form of outreach, whether it's warm or cold, but rather having people who are seeing the video, interested in seeing what you have to say even further in the form of your lead magnet, and then having them request it so that they're the ones who actually started the conversation, and then it's your job to actually just come in there and speak to them, whether it's just you or your setter. You can see another ad that I'm running where you can basically see that the CTA is to get somebody to comment a specific keyword. These two audiences alone would take you so far that it would be almost unnecessary for me to mention all the other custom audiences that you could run for ads. But just to give you a little idea, and if you guys want, make sure to comment below. I can make a video about this. Keep in mind that it only applies to people who are a little bit bigger, but you can basically run retargeting ads to people who are in the DMs with you. You can run retargeting ads to only people who have clicked the link in your bio, but these data sources have to have at least 1,000 clicks or 1,000 DMs. So most people don't really have this yet, but just think about how powerful it would be if you were able to run an ad to a specific person who has DM'd you or clicked the link in your bio with specific messaging in it. You could even say, hey, I know you've seen this video breakdown that I made with the link in my bio. If you're interested in learning more, just DM me now, because I am taking on 5 new clients or 6 new clients this month who are interested in doing XYZ in X amount of time. The reason I didn't get into this in this video is because it's too advanced for me personally. I don't have 1,000 people DMing me yet, but it's also something that would only apply to people who are actually doing larger amounts of volume and have a bigger audience. Why this system works so well is it makes it seem like you're literally everywhere on Instagram. People who once enter the funnel, whether they visit your profile or they're already following you, will consistently see your content every single day because you're putting the ad dollars behind it and you're just literally getting at their attention every single day without fail. This will ultimately bring you higher quality lead flow, because if you set up your Instagram profile correctly, like I said earlier, you would only have the right kind of people following your page, so you won't have to worry about showing it to the wrong kind of people. You have absolute control over the distribution because you're selecting the custom audience that you want to show specific videos to, so you can tailor the messaging accordingly. And it allows you to build trust faster because you're just showing up in their feed all the time. So they're just seeing your face, they're hearing your voice, they're seeing what you have to say. And if you're bringing case studies and testimonials into that as well, it's inevitable that they're going to think, okay, well, this guy's done this so many times before, let me just actually work with him. This is also a great way to guarantee that your followers will see more content, because a bunch of people are arguing now that your organic content only gets pushed to about 20% of your audience. And that's probably true, especially if your videos aren't necessarily performing well because the hooks aren't great. So it won't push it out to more of your followers, and definitely not more of a colder audience for people who don't follow you. So this is a great way for you to guarantee that your followers are seeing your stuff every single day. This will lead to people coming to you and starting conversations with you, rather than you having to feel awkward going out and doing either warm or cold outbound messages, like I said before. And at the end of the day, the best thing about this is you're going to have warmer leads and you're going to have a shorter sales cycle where people are more likely to just want to pay in full because they've already seen enough of your content. They already know what you can do. So you don't even have to do much selling when you actually get onto a sales call. The main takeaway I want you to have from this video is that in this day and age, people are drowning in content. They're drowning in notifications. They've all got terrible attention spans and memories. So by paying for retargeting ads, you're guaranteeing that specific people that you want to see your videos are seeing them consistently, so that you take out the possibility that someone isn't able to see your content despite the fact that they follow you. This strategy works deep in people's psychology by building trust at scale, by showing up on their feed all the time and allowing them to make their own conclusions about you when you put your best foot forward and inevitably build a relationship with them through their phone. It's kind of like making friends with somebody that you see at school every day. You might not speak much the first week or the second week or even the first 6 months of the school year, but by the end of the year, you would have seen them so many times that you would feel like you know that person purely because you guys are familiar with each other and have seen each other so often. And that's ultimately the power of retargeting ads. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and feel free to check out this video next where I show you how to practically set up all the custom audiences that I discussed in today's video so you can implement this strategy immediately. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.